God is within me, and when I pray, I really feel like it's going up into heaven.
Okay, that is beautiful. Can I ask you a more question? Do you feel more comfortable praying just, you're yourself praying like this? Or actually you like to hold something that is like, the Ekbeya, for example, and you pray from that? Or you mix and match? What do you do?
I mostly pray with my prayers inside.
Your own prayers? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried praying with the tried praying with the high school group? Somebody from the high school group. Okay. All right, there you go. Somebody's got his hand up here. High school? Okay. So, question, what do you think happens when you pray?
Well, it's a very similar response to Christina over there, actually.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name's Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I really feel like I'm not in my body. I feel like I'm in heaven. I'm talking to God.
Maybe العيال دي منين? Okay.
And it's a completely different experience. It's outside anything I've ever done.
Okay.
And it's
What
something I look
what
forward
is
to
the
every
most
day.
common way that you pray?
Usually, I kind of have a structure. I pray a lot at night. I just pray, with my own words.
Okay.
And then I take some time to read the midnight hour in the Ekbeya. And then I read a chapter in the Bible.
Okay, very nice.
That's how I pray.
Thank you. So, another question for the whole group. I'm sure that some of you guys struggle with prayer, right? Some of you struggle with maybe coming to liturgy. I can tell you, for example, when I have my kids, not all of them just jump on and say, okay, hey, we're going to liturgy, yay! When you struggle, what happens? What's the reason? Why does it sometimes become hard to pray? Okay, so we'll pick one buddy from the young and somebody from the older. Okay, she had her hand over there. Yes, yes. There you go. Stand up, tell us your name, and then we'll choose one of the high school.
My name's Marola.
Hey, Marola. That's a beautiful name.
Thank you. I think that people struggle because they wake up too early and they get really hungry.
Okay. Okay, I like that. How about you yourself? Have you struggled you yourself with prayer before? Like you didn't feel like you wanted to pray?
I always struggle because, like, I feel like
Let me ask you another question. When you pray, is it easy for you to feel that God is there or not so much?
well, it takes time for me,
Okay.
and sometimes I feel like it, and sometimes I feel like I'm not really paying attention to what I'm saying.
That's very honest. Thank you. When you get to feel that God is present, how would you describe that?
I feel happy when he's present. I smile, and I feel like I'm really paying attention to what I'm saying.
That is beautiful. That's why Christ said, bring those kids to me. Thank you. Thank you. How about somebody from the high school? عايزين بقى كلام كده كبير. You had your chance. You had your chance. عايزين ايه حد كده من العالم اللي هي ايه بتوع الهاي سكول اللي تعبنا. ها؟ حد من بتوع يعني ايه ما انتوا يعني طلعوها كده بس on one انما في دي ما حدش يتكلم. Why do you struggle sometimes in church or coming to liturgy or staying engaged? I can pick, by the way. I know you all out there, so I can pick. Huh? You want to? Okay, all right. There's somebody here. Okay, yes, sorry. We have somebody there as well? Okay, we'll use both of them. Just, Okay, let's get her the microphone here. And then also whoever is there is going to talk, we can listen to them. Go ahead, just tell us your name.
My name's Maurice.
Mic a little bit closer.
Maurice. All right. I struggle going to liturgy because I feel like it's the same every single Sunday, so it's very like redundant, and I don't feel like I'm praying from like my actual heart. I just feel like I'm repeating words every single Sunday that everyone else is
So
repeating.
staying concentrated and staying focused.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you pray for most of the time, how do you pray? Like when you're on your good day, how do you pray?
On a good day?
Yeah, like how would you do it?
Like individually at night.
Individually?
Yeah, I just pray by myself and.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else from over there wants to share? Okay. Can you just give him the microphone here? Yes. Stand up and mention your name.
Hi, my name is Samuel. And what I struggle with is
A little bit closer. Just put a little bit closer.
sometimes when I pray, well, when I think about praying, I tell myself, oh, I'm too busy. Or other times, oh, I have to study. Or I'll pray later. And then I end up not praying at all. Or other times, I'm too lazy to pray. And I just decide, oh, I'll just pray in my bed. And not actually feel the presence of God within me.
Okay. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. So as you guys can see, and this is where I'm actually going to turn to the advice to you as parents, and also for all of us to share. I see that the problem is in three things. ثلاث حاجات. Number one, our kids are starting to lose the connection between prayer and relationship. Okay? Number two, our kids are starting to lose that richness of the structured prayer in the church, like the Agbeya. And although we want them to have that freedom of individual prayer, but they're doing it more at the cost, of completely almost neglecting the Agbeya. And that would be the question of, okay, how can we balance? Well, you know what, in some sense, we want them to have that individual prayer, but never at the cost of the structured prayer, because it has the richness of it. So that's the second problem. The third problem is how the kids to stay engaged on a weekly basis with the liturgy. Because it becomes a bit of a forcing thing. Because if there is an altar for the family, I think prayer is a prime altar. So these are the three problems that I see a lot when I talk to the kids. So let's start with the first one. How do you make the transition or the connection for the kids between prayer and relationship? What would you advise them? Yes. Let's get the mic to you. All right, kids, so this is some advice for you guys. So just listen, okay?
Now, don't take it as an advice. You never accept advice, so just take it in a different way. I think it all starts by imitation. If my kid is only 7 so far, so I can like say that I really understand their mentality, but the only thing is, it's imitation. If they really see that when we as grown-ups pray and live what we pray with, I think they might see that really prayer matters, makes difference so it will make difference in their life. If they only see us as a habit, go back and forth to church every week or even prayer every night, and our life is not different, I don't think this will make any difference for them, and they will not even feel that this will make any effect in their life. So it all starts by imitation. If our life is different because of our prayers, they might think that this will make an effect in their life.
So what's your name? I didn't get your name.
Shaker.
Shaker. Thank you so much, Shaker, for the comment. And to talk about the imitation, okay? And I'll tell you something, and you can, Hani Ashamallah would remember this. Because the kids see us. And how many times do we as a church, for example, talk about the hymns of the communion, Fuat al-Tawziyah, when it's supposed to be the holiest of the holy time, okay? And it's the most time when everyone is talking and texting on their phone. When Hani and I were in Ethiopia this last year, it was our first time that we were allowed to attend an Ethiopian Orthodox liturgy in Aksum, which is their holiest place. And we saw something very interesting. So this was a tradition that was very interesting. And I talk about that tradition. Hani, you remember that? So after we took communion, we were standing there first time, and like, and then we found somebody coming to us and like, what, shaking us on our shoulder. It's like, just تتناولنا. So over there they wear a shawl. You've seen them with this shawl. So with this shawl, they all, after they have the Eucharist, all of them, though had Eucharist, and the rest, even who didn't have the Eucharist, would put the shawl on their mouth. And they would keep it on their mouth until they leave the church. Until they leave the church. It's not just because like after we take communion and we just put it over there. And we ask them after that, why do you do that? And it's primarily to prevent them from talking, that's number one. Number two, to give them that sense of there is a bodily action that gives them the acknowledgement of the sacredness of what they had. So to your point, Shaker, it's imitation. If they see us like during communion and we're just very nonchalant about it, chit-chatting and talking and on our phone texting, what message do they get? So thank you for your comment. Any other comments from the parents? Yes, I will get the microphone to you. برضه هنجيب لك مايكروفون. Just عرفنا بنفسك.
أنا اسمي ألبرت. أعتقد إنه عشان نخلي عيالنا تبقى مع الكنيسة أعتقد لازم يختبروا المسيح. من غير اختبار المسيح مش هيقدروا يحسوا إيه الفرق ما بين وجود المسيح في حياتهم وعدم وجود المسيح في حياتهم. أنا شخصياً كان في مناقشة ما بيني وما بين واحد مش مؤمن، يعني هو راجل ملحد، فما قدرتش أوصل له يعني إيه ربنا. قلت له بس أنا ما أقدرش، أنا مش هكون فير لأن أنا عندي علاقة خاصة مع المسيح، عندي علاقة خاصة مع ربنا. فخليت يعني الكلمة ديت خليتني أحس إنه مش يعني موضوع القداس وموضوع الصلاة وحاجات زي كده مش هي دي، لازم يكون في علاقة خاصة بينه وبين.
طب لو أنا كده يعني تشالنج ليتل موضوع يعني الفرخة الأول ولا البيضة الأول؟ ما المشكلة إحنا مع أولادنا إحنا بنعمل العلاقة من خلال الصلاة. طب ما لو ما عندوش علاقة مش هيستمتع بالصلاة.
اللي احنا بنزقهم يعني.
How do you get that؟
بص أقول لك على حاجة.
English okay.
بص أقول لك على حاجة، يعني إحنا كل دورنا إن إحنا نزقهم، وهو ربنا بيديهم زي زمان ولما كنت صغير هيدوقك من حلاوته. وبعد كده.
So what he's saying is that for you guys is to, in some sense, to be pushed inconsistently coming to church, and then at some point, almost by the grace of God, you will learn to do it. Sometimes that pushing works, sometimes it doesn't work. Yes.
It's never going to stick. If someone is praying with something he doesn't understand, it will never stick. So sometimes it takes between the young and the adult questions and answers. What that mean? Sunday school servant explain also what liturgy is, what special parts in it, and what happens in every part. Abuna, I remember you did something, educational liturgy, that was very, very helpful. We used it in Sunday school. And we taught the kids what every part of the liturgy means, and that get them engaged. Also, in the Agbeya prayers, we take like psalm by psalm and try to explain to them what it means. So when they pray, they know what the meaning of each word. That makes a difference. But if they pray only repeat words without understanding.
Can I challenge you a little bit in something? Do you think that we are under a threat at this point as a Coptic church of losing our heritage in terms of Agbeya, Tasbih? Because we're trying to encourage our kids to be a bit express themselves, okay? And they pray freely, which is good. You find more kids praying freely at this point. But are we at a threat of losing our heritage in terms of the Agbeya, for example? Like, you've seen how many kids, when I just did a poll, okay, when you talk about, okay, praying Agbeya, it's becoming, less than 10%. So where are we at? Is that good or bad? Do you think, is there a creative solution for that? Yes. Do you mind if we just wait until we get the microphone? Just microphone. Sure. Go ahead.
البطولة حلوة ففي سن بيحب البطل فنعود ولادنا يقروا سير القديسين دي أحلى حاجة تخلي الطفل يحب ربنا قوي وبعد كده القدوة من الوالدين بيروحوا الكنيسة وبيشوفوا أولادهم بيشوفوهم بيصلوا بيقروا الإنجيل على طول الطفل هيعمل كده بس البطولة بيحس إنه بطل حب المسيح وعمل حاجة عشان المسيح.
So one of the ways and advice is to actually make this connection is to actually look at the church and the heroes of the church. Like a lot of you would know the Desert Fathers, would know their stories. If you connect to them as a hero, okay, and know what they've done, that would serve to you as an example to how to live it. Okay, there's somebody in the back there. There are actually two in the back. Okay, yeah, تفضل حضرتك وبعد كده we'll come to you after that.
بيتهيألي إن if we try to let our kids know that Baba Yesua is one individual, very important individual in our family. Like الصبح مثلا احنا قلنا صباح الخير لبابا يسوع احنا قلنا good morning daddy good morning mommy did we say good morning بابا يسوع كمان لو في مثلا عندنا حالة سك أي حد مثلا ابنه أو بنته بيتعب يعود الولد إن احنا طب ما تعال نقول لبابا يسوع بابا يسوع كان يهب
God is within me, and when I pray, I really feel like it's going up into heaven.
Okay, that is beautiful. Can I ask you a more question? Do you feel more comfortable praying just, you know, you're yourself praying like this? Or actually you like to hold something that is like, you know, with the Ekbeya, for example, and you pray from that? Or you mix and match? What do you do?
I mostly pray with my prayers inside.
Your own prayers? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried praying with the Ekbeya? Tried praying with the high school group. Somebody from the high school group. Okay. All right, there you go. Somebody's got his hand up here. High school? Okay. So, question, what do you think happens when you pray?
Well, it's a very similar response to Christina over there, actually.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name's Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I really feel like I'm not in my body. I feel like I'm in heaven. I'm talking to God.
Okay.
And it's a completely different experience. It's outside anything I've ever done.
Okay.
And it's
What is
something
the
I look
most,
forward
what is
to
the
every
most
day.
common way that you pray?
Usually, I mean, I kind of have a structure. I pray a lot at night. I just pray, you know, with my own words.
Okay.
And then I take some time to read the midnight hour in the Ekbeya. And then I read a chapter in the Bible.
Okay, very
And
nice.
that's how I pray.
Thank you. So, another question.
Mom used to ask them if they like to pray with her. And when they were kids, we used to do it daily. But when they started their teenagers, they always kept saying, Mom, I will pray with myself, just forget me. But you know, because we used to pray, my wife and myself, together, we are trying to be يعني كل يوم. I think both of them, they were praying before going to bed. And you know, they grew up in the church, in the house, seeing us talking about God even while taking our dinner. And you know, while we go, when we go for any fusha, I used to make some questions in the Bible, and we were making some fun games in the Bible and in the rituals of the church. They like the Coptic hymns, so Mireille always saying that أنت علمتنا this song when we were going to Al-Gharda'a. So we have some kind of good memories related to our relationship with God. It was never like a formal activity. It was always part of our family life. We used to see the TV together. We used to chat together. We used to eat together. I don't have enough time for my family, and that's the confession. But thank God their mother was focusing much more than me. And I guess they cannot pray without Agbeya, both of them. And they loved it. And both of them are knowing Tasbaha yumkin much more than I do it. And they love it. Also, I have to say that the church servants, they added to them a lot. They always had good role models in Sunday school teaching. And, you know, one of them are confessing to another priest in the church. One of them is confessing to me. But the father of confession has also a big role in this. But, you know, as some of you told us, it's necessary to be the role model of the parents and the family prayer. And it's, you know, not formal, there was no pushing. I remember many, many nights that they said, no, we don't want to pray with you. Okay, we never forced them. But when they grew up and became servants, when at any time, when we say that, why don't we do a tasbih, some tasbih tonight, they always agree now. But sometimes came that they did not accept it easily.
More no than yes, Abuna. So if I am a parent, what to do, and if I am a kid, what to do. And I hope you can answer, and maybe George also can help us.
If I'm a parent, you know, I would never force them. I will tell them, please make sure that you pray before sleeping. But I will never force him. It's not, you know, I believe, especially after the age of 8 or 9, we cannot force the relationship with God. It has to come, you know, by the free will. But being a role model and the environment of warmth, of love, will help this to go easy. If I'm a kid, you know, I think I have to obey, and I would love to enjoy the blessing of sharing my parents, whatever they pray. But let me add one point, Hani Hana. Some of the kids are not happy with the the way the parents pray. Sometimes they pray bati awi, very slowly. Some other time they say that, Mama, you are saying many, many psalms, please, يعني انجزي. عندنا بيقولوها كده انجزي يعني يعني خليكي بسرعة شوية أو قليل شوية. I think we should, you know, respect the age. When they are very small, little, يعني, it's 5 minutes, very good. So after a few years, we may make it like 10 minutes, but we shouldn't push them to pray half an hour and they want to play.
I think one of the things that yani, my advisors and my fathers always kind of taught me about this is nowadays kids need a bit of creativity when you're praying, because the way that they're dealing with like video games and stuff like that, their attention span is totally different than what we were at. And that's one of the things, like I personally, I struggle with trying to get, for example, Lagbeya, it's a real serious struggle. يعني when we grew up in Egypt, okay, we were used to like, okay, كان دايما الأب اعترفنا يقول إيه, you know what, صلاة باكر وصلاة مثلا النوم. At this day and age, يعني almost when I'm praying with them, I usually like rotate the prayers. So it's not the same thing every day, and rotate it. Okay, so some days we may even say, you know what, صلاة الشكر ومزمور 50, and then التحليل, and then another day we go المزامير and الإنجيل, especially if my 8-year-old or 9-year-old. Okay, that rotation sometimes makes a difference. The other thing which I felt made a big difference in my kids' prayers was that as we started as a family to talk about what's happening in their life, they've got a friend who's struggling, they've got something bad is happening, they feel a threat, they've just watched on TV, an explosion, okay? It's a real life event. It was like almost an instantaneous prayer at that time, just turning that event into a source of prayer, okay? Like, I think one of the things we have to really get out, which I think these kids right now are making this connection, you almost have to get out of the formality of the prayer to get them to live it. We tend to tend to like, it has to be in the formal way.
But يعني, I want to add one point. I believe if you memorize many psalms in the young age, it will help you to enjoy praying psalms for the whole life. So I'm recommending that the kids and the young people should study the psalms and memorize many psalms, as many as they can, because I think it's one of the blessings I had in my life. And I will tell you one story because it affected me so much. When I started to be a priest, I visited Deir Marimina, and I had a good time with Abuna Rafael Avamina, the beloved disciple of Baba Kyrillos. And there were many people who trying to get his blessing. So any woman coming saying, Abuna, please sallili, he just put his hand on her head and take my hand and to share his prayer. And then he told me, نقول إيه نقول احفظني يلا قول معاي احفظني يا رب لأني عليك توكل. The prayer for Abuna Rafael on the head of anyone asking for any blessing is psalms. That's the the program of Baba Kyrillos. Praying psalms was the powerful prayer he used to do. So this is the heritage, this is the fortune of our church. We cannot ignore that the power of psalms is really, you cannot understand it easily when you are young. But with the days, with the years, you can feel the power of the psalms. So always consider that the prayer, it's not fun time, it's kind of meal time. When you are eating your meal, your dinner or your lunch, maybe you are not focusing on the food, but you are eating something which will affect your health, which is very important to your life. So taking the meals. So I consider Al-Agbeya like taking meals. It's kind of having the food of the spirit. So maybe I do not like all what I'm eating, but still I need it. So when you think this way, you will keep praying even if you are not enjoying all the words, you are not focusing 100%, but still you need to pray as exactly as you need to eat, even if you are not in a good health or you are not enjoying the meal, but still you need it. Okay,
I want to ask the question, if you don't mind, George, to the youth. So no one should be less than 18 answer this question. And if you have over 25, also don't answer the question. This question is only for those who are high school and college. I want you to help your younger brothers and sisters in answering these two questions. How did you handle boredom in liturgy? And how did you handle mom and dad telling you you have to pray? Can I ask my esteemed sons and daughters who are in college to help those who are younger and help the parents if you can advise? Okay, here.
To answer that question, I actually just want to echo what George said before. The youth, when it comes to the formality of prayer and the Igbeya, it's not just intimidating. It's like, as you said, it becomes boring. The attention span isn't as, it's very short. What I tell my friends and my friends tell me is that I find very effective. When you're praying a one-on-one prayer, make it a conversation. Make it like you're talking to someone who's actually right in front, like next to you. Make it as if you're talking to a friend and you're trying to have, you always have that one friend who you want to have an intimate conversation with. I know for me, when I want to have an intimate conversation, I call or I text the one friend. Make that one friend God, because it becomes a much deeper prayer when it's not so formal, in my opinion. I think it becomes more productive and you're more likely to get, you feel a better result on the inside.
Okay, any other?
One thing that helped me get through the liturgy was the question is, what am I supposed to do during the liturgy? What does it mean to pray during the liturgy? Am I supposed to focus on Abuna's words, the words of the liturgy? And I asked one of the monks in the Texas monastery this question, and he said, we try so hard to be formal with God, but it doesn't require all that. So he said, someone talked about the monotony of the liturgy before. One thing that helps is to change up the game. So this week, I'm going to sing along with Abuna in my head. Next week, I'm going to focus on one word and meditate on it. And if we think of the number of words in the liturgy, and we took one of them to focus on for the whole liturgy, like we're going to run out of weeks before like we end up dying. So like there's enough things to do during the liturgy that it stays constant, but at the same time, it's not monotonous because we're doing something different every week. So that kind of just helped me get through it.
Any other youth who can help their parents how to handle kids who are complaining of boredom during liturgy, or even parents complaining of boredom during liturgy, or their younger children? How can we tell our young kids what to do as far as boredom in liturgy and or prayers? I need youth, please, who are in college, who passed this period already.
Okay, Mary McHale or Mark McHale, either one of you guys. Yeah, Mark is over there, yeah, Mark.
So I think one of the things I was going to say was, like you have like, going off of what Amir said earlier, I think that like part of what got me more interested in liturgy was having an active process in it. So even being educated in one part of liturgy, I would go and ask someone like, what does this part of the liturgy have to do with anything? What does this part of the liturgy mean to me? And knowing about like what the institution narrative is, or knowing what this prayer is for, it kind of helps you realize what you're actually praying for. A lot of times we sit there in the liturgy and you don't understand what you're actually praying for. And that's one of the ways that you really see like, okay, I have a purpose. This is like an active kind of prayer. And going back to what you said about like Igbeya and liturgy, those are things that have given us a way of like the structure, and it's almost like guidelines for the prayer. If I'm sitting there and praying in my bedroom, I'm going to be very all over the place. I don't really know what my purpose is in that prayer. And I think that also goes back to like being educated parents, like teaching the kids what the importance of the liturgy is, understanding what the Eucharist is, what the significance is of those different things that we have in the church.
Something that I felt so influential when I was raising my kids, and now I'm a grandma, of course. But when we made so many road trips when we went to vacations, So I feel that being in a car with the kids is a great opportunity to teach them whatever you want, to sing songs from the church. It's like they have all the attention that they can have during the trips. And also, no, this is from my experience. And also, when we go on vacation, like we make it a rule, like every day we pray together before going to a beach or anything, and in the night we pray together. It's like wonderful time. The vacation time really.
So the vacation is not a vacation from prayer.
Is a wonderful time to the family to bind together in prayer and songs.
Thank you.
The other question I have is I want to know Abuna's mom, how she raised him like that.
I have a question first. I need you to advise me as a priest and to advise the deacons what to do to let you enjoy the Mass more, to feel the words more. Just give me advices, either the kids, the youth, or the parents. Give me and my brothers, priests, and the deacons. Give me some advices. How to let you enjoy the liturgy more than this, or as we believe that we enjoy it. Because I guess all the priests are enjoying praying. Not all the deacons, but let me say most of them. So, what do you advise? Recommendations, huh? Go ahead يا حبيبي اللي يكلم يعلي صوته.
I heard this advice a few years ago, and I'm trying to practice it, which was to try not to be an observer in the liturgy, and take part, participate. Know that all this is for you, it's for me, and I'm part of it. I'm not there to watch what's going on and what's coming after what, and just feel like this is my opportunity to be with the one who loves me. That's all. And I thought that was successful.
Very good. But you know, again, my question is just give me
the
some
advice is for Abuna.
For myself and for other deacons praying. Go ahead, ya Habibi, you have some. Go.
Well, I think it's very important to tell all the younger kids especially that everybody has a purpose in the church. Everybody has a purpose, from the deacons to the congregation. Everybody has a role to play in the churches, and especially during liturgy. And that'll help to kind of get all the temptations that the devil puts in our minds, kind of gets rid of them. Like one of the most common ones, for example, what am I going to do after this? What did I do before this? All those thoughts that the devil puts into our mind to distract us from the Holy Eucharist and the liturgy and all that. So I think it's very important to tell all the kids that they have a very important purpose.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is not my question.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, I think what Abuna is trying to get to for the kids. So Abuna actually is the one asking advice for himself or for the deacons, not advice for the congregation.
الشعب قدر يصلي مع الشمامسة مش بس يسمعهم.
يعني نتمنى ده كل اللي اقدر اقوله. يعني هي طبعا هقول لحضرتك حاجه، احنا للاسف يعني there is a culture shift من زمان، فكره المعلم والباقيين واقفين جنبه to the point of the choir. Okay, it's going to take us, I think, a couple of generations until we get to that point. But your point is very well taken.
But wait a minute, excuse me. According to the church philosophy or ideology, there was no ma'allim. It's always the congregation praising God.
Yeah, the people.
The people. and the deacons are part of of the congregation, and there should be only one voice heard, not of this man or that man. It's just of the whole church praying in one accord. So this is, I agree so much that we have to respect this. Nobody, trying to make his voice higher than others. احنا لازم نصلي كلنا ومع الشمامسة بروح واحد بصوت واحد. That's a good one. ايه تاني من غير ما نطول. He said also that we should not as deacons, make all the songs with, much time, because this add to the boring feeling.
Okay. Who's next? Yeah, in the back there. In the back there, and then نيجي لحضرتك back there. Okay. Yeah, هنا, yes.
بتهيألي أول حاجة اتعلمناها واحنا صغيرين أو جذبتنا للكنيسة من أيام أبونا بشوي كامل علاقته الشخصية بالشمامسة، سواء في القداس عارف مين جه مين ما جاش، مين كان واقف معوج، مين كان قاعد، مين كان صاحي معاه. إحساس إن هو في personal attention. لما بنطلع ريتريت بره أو نخرج كان يلعب معانا كورة، ففي علاقة قوية بين أبونا والأطفال. وده تقريبا برضو الشمامسة الكبار المفروض يدوا دور للصغيرين أكتر.
Thank you. So there are two advices here for the priests to come closer to the deacons and having good time together, and they know them one by one, and also for the old deacons to give some space for the younger generation to lead the service, not only just to stand up as deacons.
I personally think that also when Abuna and the deacons enjoyed the liturgy, everyone enjoyed the liturgy.
Yeah.
The second thing which I requested years ago from fathers, that if most of the deacons leave their place and go to the congregation,
God is within me, and when I pray, I really feel like it's going up into heaven.
Okay, that is beautiful. Can I ask you a more question? Do you feel more comfortable praying just, you're yourself praying like this? Or actually you like to hold something that is like, the Ekbeya, for example, and you pray from that? Or you mix and match? What do you do?
I mostly pray with my prayers inside.
Your own prayers? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried praying with the tried praying with the the high school group? Somebody from the high school group. Okay. All right, there you go. Somebody's got his hand up here. High school? Okay. So, question, what do you think happens when you pray?
Well, it's a very similar response to Christina over there, actually.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name's Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I really feel like I'm not in my body. I feel like I'm in heaven. I'm talking to God.
Maybe العيال دي منين? Okay.
And it's a completely different experience. It's outside anything I've ever done.
Okay.
And it's
What
something I look forward
what is
to
the
every
most
day.
common way that you pray?
Usually, I kind of have a structure. I pray a lot at night. I just pray, with my own words.
Okay.
And then I take some time to read the midnight hour in the Ekbeya. And then I read a chapter in the Bible.
Okay, very nice.
That's how I pray.
Thank you. So, another question.
Orphan kids come in, and
they pushed us back. They made us sit in the back, and it was beautiful to see the children in the front pews, because to echo the point, when you're in the front of the church, you're less likely to be distracted. You're less likely to be occupied by anything else. And today, everybody has a cell phone, even the adults, even the priests. Everybody's on their cell phone, sometimes doing important things in the middle of Mass. So to me, I think we should move our youth to the front, because the youth come in late unless they're shamamsa. They'll sit somewhere in the back. They'll sit together upstairs.
So trying to get them more in the front.
And they lose attention.
Yes.
So to me, we need to put the older people a little bit back, like 3 or 4 rows, and get all the kids and the children in the front. They will participate if you do that.
Thank you.
We have to finish in 5 minutes عشان الشباب ما يزهقوش يعني. Okay. Next حبيبي. لا دي واحدة في ناس ورا. Excuse me. معلش. Excuse me.
تفضلي. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it on? I just wanted to add, in terms of advice for the deacons and Abuna, the ways of engaging the girls more in the liturgy. I understand that there are ways that they can't be involved, but I think we lose a lot of the girls because they feel disconnected from a lot of what happens in the liturgy.
Sounds good. Can we just, for the sake of representation, take a comment or two from the corner over there in the very back? Just in the back. Just go from the back over there. Just we'll take 2 comments from over there, and then we'll have to call it a night. I'm sorry.
يعني احنا الشعب كله لما بيسمع ابونا بيصلي والشمامسه بيصلوا حضرنا وعظ مره ابونا بيشرح ازاي القداس بيتعمل كل موف ابونا بيعمله القربانه بتتقسم ازاي الصلاه بتتعمل ازاي كل صلاه الابونا بيقولها كانت مهمه جدا فحسينا الشعب ممكن يتفاعل مع القداس ويعرف ان ده جسد ودم المسيح دون والمسيح على المذبح بكل الشرح يعني يفهمونا ازاي القداس.
Thank you. So last comment over there, Gigi, in the back there. So that was the comment was basically that the more we learn about the liturgy, the more we're going to be able to be participating in it. So that was a comment directed to a lot of you guys. Go ahead, last comment.
I know, I won't be long, but there is a lot of disconnect because, like somebody mentioned before, the kids cannot understand the Coptic and the Arabic, especially when it's being said in the liturgy. So we thank God that we have a new priest at our church, and he's pretty young. He actually proposed having a liturgy, especially in English, that will be much shorter. The kids will be involved and engaged in it. Nobody will even get on their phones.
So like a kids' liturgy?
Like a kids' liturgy. Yeah. But whoever wants to come in, from the youth and even the teens, they would be able to. However, unfortunately, he was opposed completely, and that idea was an absolute failure.
It's kind of interesting you mentioned that, Gigi, because I've heard this comment from a couple of different churches, and I don't know, Abuna, what you think about this, but
I mean, this is something
several churches have stopped
there.
doing their kids' liturgy for a reason or another, which I don't know why. So I agree very much what you're saying, Gigi, but it's interesting.
I have one comment to say, like Sharif was saying earlier when we went to Kenya, for example, something that really touched me is attending a mass in the Kenyan church, and that was a Coptic Orthodox. It was very weird to find that the Kenyan people have implemented the Kenyan culture and the music into the church. And therefore, when this happened, it was like dancing and music, and it was so different for us. And we couldn't comment on anything because that is their culture. So right now, our kids are growing up in a different culture. We cannot impose older stuff on them. I'm not saying we're going to change our Orthodox church because it is Orthodox, and Orthodox is old, and that's like clinging to the traditions of the liturgy. But we do not want to lose the heart of the church because the kids cannot engage.
I think the idea of the kids' liturgy is unfortunately, is very underutilized. I really think a lot of churches need to adopt this kids' liturgy because also it gives the kids more role, like that whole point of like having a role in the church. It gives them more chance to have a role.
And maybe teach them what the liturgy is all about.
Very true.
Like this lady here was saying, explain every single move and every single prayer. In this way, everybody will be more engaged.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you. Abuna Hena had last comment.
That's
Sorry.
أنا آسف إن أنا أبونا أقول هذا التعليق يعني.
تفضل يا أبا.
أنا يعني الكلام ده بقوله من الناس التعليقات الناس في الكنيسة. أي حاجة تجذب أو تلفت النظر بتاع الموجودين في الكنيسة، إن كان صوت عالي ده بيعمل، طبعا ده علميا يعني الصوت العالي ما بيخليش فيه تركيز في الكنيسة، يعني بيعمل تشتيت في الكنيسة.
اوكي.
وبعدين مش الصوت عالي وبس، صوت عالي يجي ابونا صوت واطي، الديفرنس ده برضه بيخلي الناس مش مظبوط. المفروض الكنيسة يبقى فيها صوت واطي وليه رتم واحد، دي نمرة واحد. نمرة اتنين، ولادنا في الكنيسة أحيانا لما بنسيب ولادنا في الكنيسة يجروا، برضو ده بيلفت، بيضيع، بيشتت كل الانتباه بتاع الكنيسة. فأنا أذكر مرة كان في 3 روس ساكنين جنب الكنيسة وكانوا بيحضروا القداس، فأنا سألتهم طب أنتوا مش فاهمين؟ قالوا لي إحنا حاسين بالروح بتاع القداس. ومرة شفنا العذراء مريم، ده هم بيقولوا، واقفة على جنب المذبح. الحاجة التانية اللي عايز أقولها بالنسبة للقبطي، أنا هقول الكلمة دي بس. بالنسبة للقبطي مش ممكن إحنا هنعدم القبطي، لكن يعمل إيه بقى؟ مدارس الأحد والشمامسة وأبونا يتفقوا على إن إحنا هنقول جزء واحد معين بالقبطي لغاية ما الناس تحفظه. يعني نعلمه لهم في مدارس الأحد ونفهمه لهم ونقوله، فهم يضطروا يقولوا إيه معانا ويبقوا فاهمينه لغاية مرحلة في مرحلة، لغاية يبقوا فاهمين القداس أو معظم الألحان بالقبطي. وشكرا.
شكرا لك يا بون. Thank you for all. By the way, we want to make a تسبيحة mostly in English, so the deacons can come here, and we will make like only less than 30 minutes تسبيحة. I want to give you just an idea to complete the story of, you know, when you realize what you are doing, what you are going to do, you will enjoy it more. We will pray like only 3 hosts, 3 canticles. The first host, the second, the third. The first one is the praising God given by Moses and his people. It was written in the book of Exodus, chapter 15. So we will praise God because he gave us the gift of baptism, the gift of salvation. He saved us. And we passed over death by the crucifixion of our Lord and by having the gift of baptism. This is the first host. And you know, in the music of the Coptic church, the host pieces are like what we call march كده يعني ايه توتي of Hossein J. Moises, rhythmic, very rhythmic. Then after this, you know, rhythm, it will come a melody. So people will not get bored because we will not keep this rhythm for like 10 minutes. It will never exceed 5 minutes. Then the melody, which we call the lopsh. اللوبش معناها let's explain what we are praising God for. We are explaining the meanings of the praises given by Moses to our life now. The second host, the words of the psalm of David, the very famous one, which is إلى الأبد رحمته, for his mercy forever. You know, this psalm, we will praise God, the second host, because God saved us because he is merciful. So after praising him for the salvation, we are praising him for being merciful. The third one related to the بيسموهم 3 فدية, the 3 saintly children or the 3 young men when they were in the fire. So even we can praise God while being in fire, in problems, in hardships. So this is the third one. We will only pray these 3 together, and I need the يعني الديكونز اللي عارفين الانجليش يجوا قدام. We the old يعني will pray مرة عربي مرة قبطي، لكن هم هيكملوا انجليش طول الوقت عشان يقدروا يركزوا. I think الوردز هتبقى available على الشاشة. هنقول ال3 هسات بس، اللي عاوز يقعد خليه قاعد، اللي عاوز طبعا ينام تصبح على خير. بكرة القداس هنبتدي باكر هنا 6:30 7 سيدنا المفروض يرفع الحمل. تفضلي نصلي. مش هناخد نص ساعة، أقل من نص ساعة، غالبا 20 minutes. حلوني أبا، حد من الشباب هيجي جنبنا؟ أوكي. أمين الليلويا كريه ليسون كريه ليسون توتي أبهوسن جيمويسيس نمنن شيرم بسرا إلي تايهوزين تبشو سوو أفغوس استروغوس جيمارن هوس ابشو جيخن أو غرابيت شي أو.
He has thrown into the sea, the Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation.
Vai pepenuti tinati una vivnuti empaioti natches.
The Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has cast into the sea.
ركبانا منتخبين ذي سالة جنبات أغرقهم في البحر الأحمر.
The depths have covered them, they sank to them as a stone.
ويمينك يا رب تمجدت بالقوة، يدك اليمنى يا إلهي أهلكت أعدائك.
And in the greenness of your excellence, you have overthrown those who rose against you. You sent forth your wrath, I consumed them like stubble.
وبروح غضبك وقف الماء وارتفعت المياه مثل السور وجمدت الأمواج في وسط البحر.
The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My desire shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, and my hand shall destroy them.
أرسلت روحك فغطاهم البحر وغطسوا إلى أسفل كالرصاص في مياه كثيرة.
Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorified in his saints, amazing in glory, performing wonders?
يمينك فابتلعتهم الأرض، هديت شعبك بالحقيقة. هذا الذي اخترته وقويته بتعزيتك إلى موضع راحة قدسك. حينئذ أسرع ولة أدوم ورؤساء المؤابيين أخذتهم الرعدة. بكثرة ساعدك فليصيروا كالحجار حتى يكتش شعبك يا رب، حتى يكتش شعبك هذا الذي اقتنيته.
You will bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which you have made for your own dwelling.
موضعك المقدس يا رب الذي أعددته يدك، يا رب تملك منذ الأزل والأنوى إلى الأبد.
For the horses of Pharaoh went with his chariots and his horsemen into the sea.
الرب غمرهم بماء البحر، أما بنو إسرائيل فكانوا يمشون على اليابسة في وسط.
For he has triumphed gloriously.
بشوقي مرسي وكان موسى النبي يسبح قدامهم حتى أدخلهم برية سيناء.
And they were praising God with this new song melody, saying, "Let us sing to the Lord, for He has triumphed gloriously."
أنت موسيس بعرش قرار وقيتي سبشر أموتنا من بيكو إبول أنت النوبين اشكروا الرب لأنه صالح وخير الليلويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته.
Oh, give thanks to the God of gods, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
اشكروا رب الأرباب الليلويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته.
To Him who alone does great wonders, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
الذي خلق السماوات بفهم الليلويا لأن
To Him who laid up the earth above the waters, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
الذي أضع على المياه الليلويا إلى الأبد رحمته الذي خلق نيرين عظيمين وحده هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
Son to rule by day, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
القمر والنجوم لحكم الليل هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
To him who struck Egypt in their firstborn, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
أخرج إسرائيل من وسطهم هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
With a strong hand and with a stretched arm, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
الذي شق البحر الأحمر إلى أقسام هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
And made Israel to pass through the midst of it, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
وطرح فرعون وكل قوته في البحر الأحمر هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
To him who led his people through the wilderness, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
الذي أخرج ماء من صخرة صماء هللويا
To him who struck down great kings, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
وقتل ملوكا عجيبين هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
On the king of the Amorites, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
وعوج مالك باشان هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
Give their lands for heritage, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
ميراثا لعبد إسرائيل هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
The Lord who remembered us in our lowly state, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
وخلصنا من أيدي أعدائنا هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
Who gives food to all flesh, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
احمدوا إله السماء هللويا لأن إلى الأبد رحمته
Oh, give thanks to the Lord of Lords, for He is good, Alleluia, His mercy endures forever.
Marin أمطر مطرا على وجه الأرض حتى أنبتت وأعطت ثمرها. صنع الإنسان كشبهه وصورته لكي يباركه. أنت بإرف صلبي داوود بشوي صاري أهمتنا هنبيكو إقول أنت النوبي. Angelos, Ebshoy Saare, Ehmotna Hanim Biko Evolente, Enendovi, Eto. Ekesmarote pembier vente quo suave kerhos marote keroche sishanine.
Blessed are you who beholds the depths and sits upon the cherubim, and exceedingly to be blessed and exalted above all forever.
Ekesmarote jambia thronos entetek met oro kerhos marote keroche sishanine.
Blessed are you in the firmament of heaven, and exceedingly to be blessed and exalted above all forever.
بارك الرب يا جميع أعمال الرب سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, O heaven, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا جميع ملائكة الرب سبحوا وزدوا علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you waters that are in heaven, praise him and exalt him forever.
بارك الرب يا جميع قوات الرب سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, O sun and moon, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا سائر نجوم السماء سبحي وزدي علوا للأبد.
Bless the Lord, O you reign, and do praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيتها السحب والرياح سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you spirits, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيتها النار والحرارة سبحا وزد علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all cold and heat, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيتها الأهوية والأندى سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you nights and days, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيها النور والظلمة سبحا وزد علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all frost and cold, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيها الجالد والثلج سبحا وزد علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you lightnings and clouds, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيتها الأرض كلها سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you mountains and all hills, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا جميع ما ينبت على وجه الأرض سبحوا وزده علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you fountains, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب أيتها البحار والأنهار سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you whales and all that moves in the waters, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا جميع طيور السماء سبحي وزدي علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you wild beasts and cattle, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا بني البشر واسجدوا للرب سبحوا وزدوا علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, O Israel, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا كهنة الرب سبحوا وزدوا علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, O you servants of the Lord, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا أرواح وأنفس الصديقين سبحوا وزدوا علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, O you holy and humble of heart, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
بارك الرب يا حنانيا وعازر يا ميسائيل ودانيال سبحوا وزدوا علوا إلى الأبد.
Bless the Lord, all you who worship the Lord, God our fathers, praise him and exalt him above all forever.
أرب صالين أبئتواش فريا جونو وأبقص فافتون فافكر في مجموعة تيشوف أسيرو أريهو تشاس وشن برومي أمبالي أوسوه بالهم تباري أبك لأوس أوه كنت مغايل أوسوس إروفا أريهو تشاف.
All you Christian people, the priest and the deacon, glorify the Lord, for he is worthy. Praise him and exalt him above all. Come to us, O three children, whom Christ our God has lifted, and from the devil has delivered. Praise him and exalt him above all.
يا سيا الماني أحل إحسانها لم إلينا يا حناني يا سبحوا وزده علوا نزلوا تأزاريس Esteras que troikem se me verías, ma o en tu gomente terías os, pero faari hoches.
Behold, Emmanuel is now in our midst, O Mishael. Proclaim with a voice of joy, praise him and exalt him above all. Gather now and persevere and proclaim with the priest. Bless the Lord, all his works, praise him and exalt him above all.
Yes, nefe always says em qaoem benoti shaikhon qaoni angelo etatik osero arihot وأن يا قوة الرب باركوا اسمه الكريم أيتها الشمس والقمر والنجوم سبحوه وزدوه علوا.
And also, though you reign and do sing praises unto our Savior, for he is the God of our fathers. Praise him and exalt him above all. Glorify the Lord, O clouds and winds, together with the souls and the Spirit. O you cold and fire and heat, praise him and exalt him above all.
أيتها الليالي والأيام والنور والظلمة والبروق إلى المجد لك يا محب البشر سبحوه وزدوه علوا. Exilak pantata feomena entetik pantata kenome inema onem nito onem ederemona os erofaari hoches.
Praise without ceasing the Lord, the King of the kings. O you rivers and seas, praise him and exalt him above all. And we also seeing them, let us say with all these things, bless the Lord, all you birds, praise him and exalt him above all.
أيها الجالد والثلج والبهايم والوحوش باركي رب الأرض سبحوه وزدوه علوا. اسمه وفشوز كتا ابتومي إيروفكي أومي فرانومي أوني شري أنتني رومي أسئر فأري هوتشاس.
O Israel, offer before him honor and glory in a joyful voice. All you priests of Emmanuel, praise him and exalt him above all. You servants of the true God, the soul of the righteous and the humble and the charitable, praise him and exalt him above all.
الله إلهي أنا هو مخلصكم من الخطأ يصدرك ومسك وابديناه سبحوه وزدوه علوا. قل فن أنشتي نشرس ونترسبستم بشوس من بسستيرو تبا ايسوس ايرو اريهو تشاس.
Fullness and repose without ceasing, grant unto all of us, that we may joyfully proclaim, praise him and exalt him kiss, make him without condemnation, that he may join all those and say, praise him and exalt him above all.
اللهم اجعلنا مستحقين نقول بالشكر أبانا الذي في السماوات ليتقدس اسمك ليأتي تكن مشيئتك كما في السماء كذلك على الأرض خبزنا كفافنا لا تدخلنا في تجربة لكن نجينا من الشر تعيشوا وتسبحوا. Good night everyone.
I just strap it once. Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
CYC, Christian Youth Channel.